A message to non-disabled folks. You're not overstimulated, you're just overwhelmed. It's not a special interest or hyperfixation, that's just a hobby you enjoy. You're not being so manic right now, you're just excited. If you don't have these disabilities or genuinely believe you do, please don't use these terms. The misuse of disability language online is literally redefining these words in harmful ways, downplaying the very much disabling aspects of these terms into fun sentence enhancers. And you may be thinking, well, Corn, aren't you just gatekeeping these terms? Well, let me ask you this. Is someone gatekeeping a term, or do you not know what it means and don't want to face accountability for using it incorrectly? Unfortunately, it's probably that last part. Asking someone to properly use a term that matters to others isn't gatekeeping. It's quite literally stopping the spread of misinformation, because that is what folks are doing when they redefine these words to completely erase the original context. We also have to acknowledge the power dynamic required for gatekeeping to occur. Gatekeeping requires a group in power, preventing another group, one with less power, from accessing that thing. Disabled people are the ones with less power in society, so they can't be gatekeeping a term from non-disabled people, the ones who are in power. Now, if a doctor told a disabled person that they couldn't use these terms, that would be an example of gatekeeping. In the same way, it's why reverse racism doesn't work. It requires a system of power against you. I also think it's very much tied to these debates we have around cultural appreciation versus appropriation. Because what actually makes borrowing something from another group or culture disrespectful? First, it being misused or misrepresented in a way that does not honor the original context or history. Example, renaming matcha to healthy green powder and marketing it as a new breakthrough product to predominantly white people. Second, those in power using it in a way that makes light of those who were historically oppressed for using said thing. Example, using a black scent when you're not black because suddenly it's cool if you do it. You're not always entitled to the history, terms, and activities of a group you don't belong to. And I think that's a really hard concept for a lot of privileged people to grasp when you're used to having access to everything without repercussions. So I invite you to sit with that discomfort and listen to others when they inevitably know more about something than you do. That's how we learn new things. But no, it's not gatekeeping every time you misuse or appropriate someone else's language. Bye, friends.